and welcome to another edition of Newsroom series on Channels Television. And today we'll put our focus on the southwestern part of Nigeria. But before then, several people have been reportedly killed by youths in Agenebode in the Esako East local government area of Edo State due to alleged kidnapping and killings in that community. An angry mob also set a police station on fire, accusing the police of being complicit after they tracked the phone of a kidnapped youth to a suspect who was later arrested by the police. The youth claim the police did not handle that situation properly, so they took matters into their own hands. They forcefully removed the suspect from the station and conducted their own investigation, which led to them discovering the alleged kidnappers. The suspected kidnapper, who is said to be the leader of an Hausa community in the area, escaped during the youth investigation, and this led to the killing of some members of the Hausa community and the burning of the police station. The council chairman, Benedicta Atto, and the police have not yet commented on the situation. However, the AIG Zone 5 in Edo State Commissioner of Police, Newi Edwin Niwo, were reported to have visited that community. The divisional police officer, the DPO of Agbaro Police Division, has lost his life after hoodlums ambushed police officers during an operation. Delta State Police Public Relations Officer Bright Edafe confirmed to Channels Television that the incident occurred in the early hours of Monday, October the 14th, 2024. According to Mr. Edafe, two divisional officers in Agbaro and Orokwe stations were on an operation with some officers when they were ambushed and shot at by the hoodlums. Sadly, the DPO lost his life while the other officer sustained injuries. He was rushed to the hospital where he is now in stable condition. The police are actively pursuing the hoodlums and they have assured the public that they will be caught. In a separate incident, there was a security breach in Onicholona, Aniocha North local government area of Delta State. A youth went on a rampage, setting buildings and properties on fire. This violence erupted after a community member was allegedly bitten to death by a suspected land grabber who is accused of forcibly taking community land. Some community leaders opposed this, leading to the violence that claimed one life. The police have now arrested 3 suspects in connection with that crime, and investigations are ongoing. Right here in Lagos, a 2-story building has collapsed in Orile-Gomu area. A video posted on social media captured the moment the building collapsed, with some occupants and onlookers scampering for safety. The Lagos State Emergency Management Agency response team visited the scene of that incident alongside the State Building Control Agency, the Nigerian Police Force, and other responders, the first responders actually, to carry out the rescue and search operations at the self-collapsed building in Amusu Street, Bale bus stop in Orile-Gomu. According to Lasema, head of Public Affairs Unit, Mr. Nusa Okumbor, he says that no casualty was recorded in that incident. Further assessment has been conducted at the scene of the adjoining 2-story buildings, which reveals the building is distressed and inhabitable for occupants. Stakeholders in the agriculture sector have stressed the need for robust collaboration between the government and the private sector just to tackle food insecurity challenge in Lagos and Nigeria at large. And this was echoed at the Food Systems Champions Summit, which was organized by the Ministry of Agriculture and Food Systems as part of activities to mark the year's 2024 World Food Day. The State Commissioner for Agriculture and Food Systems, Abisola Olusoya, assured the stakeholders of upholding standards in the sector for the benefit of all.
It's a gathering of all stakeholders in the agriculture sector, from input suppliers, producers, logistics providers, aggregators, marketmen and women, young agripreneurs who have converged on this mid-level agro-production hub in Idioro, Mushi, Lagos for the Food Systems Champions Summit to deliberate with the Lagos State Ministry of Agriculture and Food Systems on the challenges facing the sector.
When the farm produce don't get to Lagos, the farmers don't make money across the country. So Lagos is the state that makes sure that farmers become sustainable. So Lagos food security is national food security. Very important.
The summit, organized by the State Ministry of Agriculture and Food Systems, also had a panel session called Securing Lagos Food Security. The panelists call for synergy between the private sector and the government in order to improve the sector.
If you require 1 million naira to feed your birds in January this year, as I'm talking to you, you require 4 million naira to feed, or 5 million to feed your birds. How many farmers can afford it? This is where I believe government needs to be responsive and intervene at that point. If you don't respond at the point of response, because of the seasonality of our cycle, once you miss that season, you miss it throughout the whole year.
We can solve this hunger problem if all our hands are on deck and we work in synergy with the government as we should. The only thing I think we need to do to solve the challenges that we have in the aquaculture sector is to do much with the marketing end of the value chain.
The high cost of feed mill, cost of food transportation from the northern region to Lagos, affecting food prices, is also highlighted, with possible solutions to address the issue.
For those who are buying tomatoes from Mile 12, why it's more expensive, for instance, in Mushin axis or Ekpe axis than within Mile 12 is because people in Mile 12, people who come to Mile 12 to buy, don't forget that they don't use water in their cars or lorries. They will have to pay Alabaro, the laborer who will take from the market to the bus stop. They will also have to pay the transport from Mile 12 to Mushin. You understand me? So all those things also play a part in making it expensive. I think it is better to engage more universities. The agricultural student should involve fully in more practical farming than theory.
In the last 1 year, the price of feed has been more than doubled. So anybody that is using, let me say, 5 million naira to do business 1 year, 2 years ago, if the person has not had access to finance, the person can only do half of what that person is doing now. So what can we do to help those people in terms of feed?
The State Commissioner for Agriculture and Food Systems calls for more support to scale up government efforts aimed at ensuring food security in Lagos.
We have several programs that are running, even for our youth. Next month, throughout the month of November, we are going back to the farms again. We have fertilizers to give. That we're working on something for Poultry Association, for poultry farmers in Lagos, to have subsidized feed. So we keep trying to tweak, we keep trying to rework. We are taking the pains also to say we will go to the hinterlands, we will go to the islands, to make sure that we are seeing the farmers right at work, taking their feedback to assess their needs and give them exactly what it is that they need. We will continue to strive to do our best with the limited resources we have at our disposal.
The Lagos state government says it is committed to achieving a food-secure Lagos and will work according to the agriculture roadmap to achieve the desired results.
Well, right now we head over to where the Vice President, Kashim Shettima, will be attending the Nigeria's Economic Summit, and that's for our viewers on DSTV, but on other platforms. Newsroom series continues. And now in Ogun State, where the government begins the sale of federal government rice at 40,000 naira per 50 kilograms in Abeokuta, the state capital. The sale is part of the government's efforts to ease the current socio-economic challenges caused by the removal of petroleum subsidy by the federal government. During the flag-off ceremony held on a cake ground in Abeokuta, the governor announced that the state will soon start selling other subsidized food items across all the 20 local government areas.
The federal government has launched the sale of 50 kg bags of rice at 40,000 naira in Ogun Central Senatorial District as part of short-term measures to ease current socio-economic challenges. Ogun is one of the first states to begin this initiative. Groups, associations, presidents, and the elderly joined other beneficiaries along with the state governor and a representative of the Minister of Agriculture and Food Security. The state head of service, who led the state committee responsible for the program, explained the steps to access the initiative. The representative of the Minister of Agriculture praised the transparency of the process.
A test run of the sale process was conducted yesterday, which involved the physical registration of buyers using their national identification number and payment through their respective ATM cards.
The whole process is seamless. So far, Ogun State has one of the most organized distribution templates, ensuring that this gets to the 3 senatorial districts and to all the grassroots. This template has even attracted the interest of the team from Abuja for possible adoption in other states, and this is very commendable.
Governor Dapo Abiodun acknowledged the economic difficulties caused by inflation, the removal of subsidies, and the current hardships. He promised more short-term incentives from the state government, with plans for medium and long-term solutions in progress.
This effort will benefit all segments of our society, leaving no one behind. This distribution that we're launching today will cover various groups, including our state public servants, federal civil servants, organized private sector, artisans, trade unions, NGOs, student bodies, youth organizations, our market women, our CDCCDAs, cooperative movements, traditional institutions, religious bodies, and so on and so forth. We are fully aware that this rise will not suffice for everyone, but rest assured that the Office of the Head of Service and the Federal Ministry of Agriculture, with the Office of the NNC, have developed a well-structured template to ensure a wide and equitable spread across all the local government areas.
Some of the targeted beneficiaries, including pensioners, community development associations, and the less privileged, thanked the federal government for its efforts, but called for long-term measures.
On behalf of Nigeria Union of Pensioners, the entire pensioners of Ogun State, I want to thank the governor for the able way he has been treating the affairs of pensioners in this state. And we pray that Almighty God will continue to guide you. And I know when you live here as the governor of this state, you are going higher and higher and higher.
This is palliative for simple for short time. Kindly assist us to put in place a long-term palliative term to assist a lot of the citizens.
This rice distribution exercise is expected to extend to other senatorial districts and all 20 local government areas of the state.
Welcome back. Still in Ogun State, the Governor Dapo Abiodun has explained that 1,000 residents for primary, secondary and tertiary education institutions in the state have benefited from the Gbemiga Abiodun Memorial Education Foundation Scholarship Initiative, held in memory of his first son, who passed away at the age of 24 in 2017. The governor announced this figure at the second edition of the program, which took place at Christ Apostolic Grammar School, Ikperu, in Ikene local government area of the state. The scholarship initiative is currently active in 3 local government areas within Ogun East Senatorial District.
The second edition of the Gbemiga Abiodun Education Support Program, held in memory of the late son of the Ogun State Governor, Mr. Dapo Abiodun, Gbemiga passed away in 2017 at the age of 24. Family members, members of the State Executive Council, students from primary, secondary and tertiary institutions, parents and traditional rulers are present to witness the impactful initiative. All reflect on his life with nostalgia 7 years after his passing.
Gbemiga's life was unfortunately very short, but extremely impactful. And a reminder to us that every day we wake up is a blessing that we should not take for granted. May you all grow old and prosper. Make yourselves and your communities proud, and continue to make us proud. We hope that this foundation is the beginning of many success stories from this community by the grace of God. Legends never die. Gbemiga, we miss you so much. Words cannot express.
I met Bemiga when I was very young. We grew up in Lagos together, not as nice as Ogun State, but we went to school, we went to church, and we basically saw each other navigating life's challenges when we were your age. In school, Bemiga was very, very interesting to be friends with because intelligent guy, hardworking, but every challenge he faced, no matter what it was, he found a way. He found a way.
Governor Dapo Abiodun, who leads the Education Support Program, announces that 1,000 students are benefiting from this second edition. He is also expressing plans to expand the program from 3 local government areas to all 20 in the state.
We started with 600 beneficiaries, approximately, maybe slightly more, across the different educational categories, primary, secondary, and tertiary institutions. I was particular that the students should be taken only from public schools. But I found out that it was difficult to exclude students from private schools. Today, we've added another 400 students across the same categories. We'll continue to increase the number of student beneficiaries and expand this program from the 3 Remo local governments where Bimiga came from to the other 17 local governments across the length and breadth of Ogun State.
Some beneficiaries thank the governor, calling the support a great relief.
When we received this scholarship last year, it was indeed like an answered prayer for most of us because it was hard. And the school fees is not something that we can easily get. So it relieved our parents of the stress of payment of school fees and gave them peace of mind. I'm very grateful on behalf of the students for this scholarship, and I pray that this scholarship will be sustained.
The event ends with a symbolic presentation of dummy checks to beneficiaries from primary, secondary, and tertiary institutions.
As Assistant Controller General of the Nigeria Customs Service, Southwest Zone Saidu Abba Yusuf confirms the service's commitment to using available technology for efficient border control, tackling smuggling, and enhancing national security at the borders. He made the statement in Abeokuta, the Ogun State capital, during the appraisal visit to the Ogun 2 Command. During the visit, he urged officers to maintain professionalism and avoid corruption. Mr. Abba Yusuf also warned criminals planning to smuggle arms, ammunition, or illicit drugs into Nigeria to reconsider, as the service is determined to strengthen national security.
It's not going to be easy. We are up and doing. We have very capable officers now on ground. Intelligence gathering is at its very high level now in Nigeria Customs Service. And I can tell you, we, as it is, not quite long ago, Port Harcourt, arms were caught in Port Harcourt, in Tinkan Island Port, in Cargo. We are on top of our game, I can tell you. And anybody contemplating, investigations are going on and arrests are being made. But I can tell you, we have to abide by the law surrounding offenses. Offenses are committed, but definitely we get the people involved. And I can tell you, anybody contemplating on bringing in arms or any illicit arms, ammunition, drugs into Nigeria should have a rethink. Because Nigeria Customs Service, under the current leadership, is very, very active and very effective in terms of intelligence gathering with other sister customs security security agencies. We are all collaborating. And I can tell you it's going to be very hard for anybody involved.
Residents of Lalupon and surrounding areas comprising more than 40 communities that have been in darkness for over 1 decade have confirmed that many of the affected communities now have power restored. Speaking with Channels Television about this development, the Landlords Association of the area and its environs note that the significant number of communities have been powered, improving livelihoods, especially for artisans and small businesses in Oyo State. However, they have asked the Ibadan Electricity Distribution Company to intensify efforts to reconnect those who are still without power, while also calling for a stable power supply in the affected areas.
It was a tortuous 12-year journey for residents of Lalukwan and environs in Egbeda and Lagelu local government areas of Oyo State as they grappled with prolonged lack of power supply. After years of engagement with the IBEDC and a series of protests held to register their displeasure, millions of residents within these two local government areas can now heave a sigh of relief, as more than 60% of the affected communities have now been connected to the national grid.
We are hopeful for the light so far because our almost 40 transformers are having light, regular light now. It means from Eulufa down to Adelaide, they have been having scattered lights. From Lalukwan downward, there's no light yet. And the regional technical has promised that between today and tomorrow, we must have light.
Based on our initial projection and survey carried out, we were supposed to connect 33 communities. And I can tell you authoritatively at this point that we have been able to achieve our targets by rehabilitation and realigning the network to achieve this.
More engagement continues between the communities and IBEDC to ensure that those still without power are also brought on board.
As a follow-up of the recent communication on the Lalukwan power supply, we pledge to take immediate steps to address the situation ahead of the planned CAPEX project. I'm pleased to announce that we have successfully carried out a series of network realignment, and as a result of this, relatively all affected customers have been put online.
Currently, residents say areas like Fatumo, Ejuku, Olagbaye, Lalukwan, Akpatere, Oyedeji, Kushela, and Lagun have been connected but still without power supply, while Ayede, Adeyagi, Alugbo, Oyindamola, Akinshawe, Shukuru, and Awobale are yet to get connected. They appeal to IBEDC to expedite efforts to ensure regular power supply in the affected areas. Bukola Oriowo, Channel Television News.
From Oyo, let's head to Ondo State, where the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) has said it now has non-sensitive election materials to prepare for the November 16 governorship election. The resident electoral commissioner for the state, Mr. Oluwatoyin Babalola, revealed this at a workshop on effective communication for INEC staff, which was organized by the International Press Center in Ikogosi, Ekiti State. The election umpire assures the people of Ondo State that their votes will count in the upcoming governorship election. He also confirms that the commission is fully prepared for the poll.
From our work on elections, particularly since 2023, we've discovered that there are elements of mistrust on the part of the people of the election management body, which is INEC. And we believe that if they engage the electorate very well, then they may be able to regain, their trust. And trust matters, because where there is no trust, no matter what they do, the perception will be there that they are not doing it, very well. So we have had this conversation over a long period of time, and they themselves agree that they need to be better equipped in the art of effective communication. This is very, very important.
On our side, we will deliver on free, fair, credible, transparent, and inclusive election that will meet the aspiration of an average citizen, of citizens of Ondo State. And when they know that every vote will count, we are promising that every vote will count, so they should come out on election day. And also, we are advising people not to sell their votes. Do not sell your vote. When you sell your vote, you sell your future for the satisfaction of a few days. When you sell your vote for what you benefit for 2-3 days, you have mortgaged your future. in the next 4 years.
That's it on this edition of Newsroom series on Channels Television. Thank you for watching. I'm Anne Nwawodu.